In the heart of Kumasi, where the sun beats down and the market sings, there was a boy named Kweku Amponza. 13 years old, with a smile that could light the dustiest streets. He stood on a rickety stage, a spelling bee medal gleaming on his chest, the pride of his mother, Abena, clapping like thunder in the crowd. This was his world, school, dreams, a future bright as the Ghanaian sky. Back home, in a room small but alive, Kweku bent over his books. The scratch of his pencil mixed with the sizzle of Abena's kenki on the fire. On the wall, a framed certificate, proof of his promise. She'd look at him and see a doctor, a savior. He believed her then. It was simple, pure, theirs. Then came Isaac. A boy with a crooked grin and a storm in his step. He blew into Kweku's life like a wind off the market, pulling boys in with sweets and swagger. Under the mango tree, he lit a cigarette, smoke curling like a dare. "Live a little," he said. Kweku laughed it off, but the seed was planted. It wasn't long before Isaac showed him more. Behind a shed, a rag unfolded, brown powder, gritty and strange. "Makes you sore," Isaac whispered. Kweku hesitated, then took the plunge. The rush hit hard, wild, free, a thunderclap in his veins. For the first time, the weight of dreams lifted. Too late, he'd learn what it cost. Days passed, and Kweku held the line. Tests aced, teachers smiling. He hid the secret well. But nights grew long, his steps unsteady. In the Trotro Park, he met Razor, a man with a scar and no warmth, trading coins for baggies. "I can stop," Kweku told himself. A lie he'd soon believe less. The cracks came slow, then fast. Grades slipped as to CS, teachers' whispers turned to sighs. Abena found the truth under his mattress, a baggie, a betrayal. Her voice broke the night apart. "I've bled for you." Kweku shouted back, words like knives, then ran into the dark, leaving her tears behind. He sank into Isaac's world, boys with hollow laughs, passing pills under streetlights. Money vanished from Abena's stall, stolen by hands he didn't recognize as his own. One night, she locked the door. "You're not my son," she wept through the wood. The streets took him then, cold and unforgiving. Time blurred. Kweku, thin as a shadow, snatched a fish from Abena's stall. She didn't chase, just watched, eyes dead. By the river, he ate it raw, the taste bitter with shame. Moonlight caught his face, a boy drowning in what he'd become. Under the mango tree where it began, he sat with an empty baggie, staring at the wreck of his life. Memories of medals, of Abena, cut deep. Then a voice, Mr. Owusu, his old teacher, shock softening to mercy. "Come with me," he said. A hand in the dawn, pulling him from the edge. In a church's back room, Kweku fought, sweating, shaking. Abena's hand on his shoulder. Days led into months, hard and slow. Mr. Owusu brought books, math first, then hope. A year on, Kweku stood at Abena's stall, hands steady, a faint smile shared. Not the star he was, but alive, climbing back, one step at a time. Kweku Amponza fell far, lured by a friend and a high he couldn't outrun. But in Kumasi's dust, where dreams bend but don't break, he found a way to rise. Not whole, not yet, but breathing, fighting, home.